SylverDreamer.
Me.
That's you. What is going on? How are you doing? You like the fake out? Man. You like the fake out? You were like, what is he gonna ask?
Dude, oh man. I'm doing really good. I've been psyching myself out, but I'm good at hanging out and like cutting the tension. And so like I'm just really leaning into cutting my own tension so I can just relax and chill with my buddy.
Let's relax and chill, man. I want to thank you for being here. It's completely just a fun conversation for us. I want to get to know you. I want to know what you're about. So for those that don't know who SylverDreamer is, what's your channel and what can they expect from your content?
So my channel, SylverDreamer, in case you guys haven't picked that up yet. So I found out, thanks to this nomination that I got, that I am a hobby streamer. I didn't know what I was. I didn't know how to categorize the stuff that I do, but it's a hobby streamer. So during the week, like weekdays, I build Lego sets and building bricks, so like not like third-party Lego. I also do gunpla and other model kits. I also build book nooks. My wife loves book nooks, so she'll buy them. I'm the builder of the family, and so I'll build those on stream. Easy content. I didn't spend any money on it, and it's just fun to just hang out and just put things together and build them from semi-scratch. As far as overall tone and mood, I try to keep a relaxed, kind of chill atmosphere. I used to say that my goal is to have people lose track of time in my stream from hanging out and listen to lo-fi music. I want people to want to wind down from their day on my channel.
I have one follow-up question, and forgive me if I am completely out of the know on this, but I have no idea what a book nook is.
So a book nook, it comes in like just sheets of like wood. Like you've seen those like metal earth stuff. It's a similar thing, but with wood.
Okay.
So this one is going to make this Havana Cuba kind of like little mini diorama, and just goes on your bookcase in between some books.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, and so a lot of them have like a light with a motion sensor on it. And so when you walk by, it lights up and you can look down this one is like a little Cuba street, little Havana Cuba.
That's really cool.
Just put it all together. Use some wood glue and put all the pieces together.
That's amazing. And you've made those?
Yeah, so we've done a few. We have like, my wife has like 7 or 8 at this point.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, they're cool. She buys as many books as I do, but I buy comics and she buys just all kinds of novels. So that's a book nook.
Thank you for showing me that. I might look at those because I think that might be a really cool gift for some folks. Actually,
they're so cool. I've actually looked at a few for like buying for my parents, because my dad really likes Cuba, and so like I kind of wanted to get that Havana Cuba one for my dad, just build it and give it to him for like Christmas or whatever. And then my mom is Japanese, and there's this one with really cool like sakura blossoms, and like it looks like just like straight out of a park in Japan. I would love to get that one for her. Downside is neither of my parents have very many shelves, like bookshelves. So like it would make more sense for me to get trinkets or like fridge magnets or gift certificates to dinner or something like that.
That's really cool. It's cool that you make those. What was that response been when you've done some of that on stream?
Nobody knows book nooks, and so like it's a lot of fun to just kind of show people a new kind of hobby that you can pick up. Just go get yourself some wood glue, and like, so you've built Lego, you know, kind of how like kind of just relaxing, following some instructions and putting pieces together, and then a couple hours later you have this like final thing. You know how good that feels. And so this is literally the same thing, both just a different medium, and it quickly gets big, you know, like it's the size of a book. And so like you're just building on a larger scale than some of the Lego pieces that we've built. Except, sitting here I'm in front of a Millennium Falcon. You've got the Titanic behind you, but usually they're smaller.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. That's a cool thing to stream too when it comes to content that we make. That is, I've never heard of it. It sounds like you've been explaining this to people as you do it. The whole thing about it is unique and different. So that's really cool. I commend you for doing that. It sounds like a lot of people enjoy it. I'm seeing people in chat pipe up about how awesome it is. So that's really cool.
A lot of fun.
Let's talk about how you got into Twitch. What brought you to the Purple website? What did you do that brought you to Twitch in general, and then what led to you streaming?
I streamed in I have 2 stories of my streaming career. The first time was in April of 2020, right before big lockdown. And there's another streamer, Laura Lilac. She is a IRL friend that I went to high school with. She's been streaming Destiny 2 on Twitch for years. I call her my Twitch mama because I followed her and I'd hang out in her stream from time to time. And then I eventually got to the point where I was like, I really want to talk to people about Marvel Comics. And I don't have a whole lot of opportunity to do that at home. Maybe I should try streaming. And so Laura sent me one of the webcams that she uses and sent me the link for the blue snowball for my first mic. And I sat actually in this room, but facing the wall here. I had a desk. It was a laptop. I was streaming wireless on Wi-Fi. I had the camera and the mic, and I just sat in front of my laptop and just held up my comic books. I was like, guys, look at what happened. I'm talking to nobody, but it was fun. I did 2 streams. I was doing it Sunday nights. I did 2 streams, and then Monday was the lockdown.
Wow.
And after that, I didn't stream. And I was like, all right, whatever. But then I started hanging out in a bunch of other streams. Originally, I was watching a lot of Modern Warfare Call of Duty streams. And so I started making a quote unquote name for myself there, as in they know who I am kind of thing. August of 2021, so about a year and a half later, I was like, you know what? I want to try streaming again. I want to do it right. So I have a day job at a bank. I work in IT, and I had a night job working at a restaurant. And I quit the restaurant job, went and bought a new computer, bought a new desk, bought a second camera, bought a ring light, and really tried to do streaming right. And so at the end of August of last year, I went live for the first time again. At the time, I had a bunch of backlog of Lego sets. And so I was like, I think I could probably make content building Lego. Again, my frame of reference was Call of Duty, and I don't have a computer that can play video games and stream. So, okay, I mean, maybe people want to see that. And so started building Lego. And then I realized about 3 weeks, 4 weeks in, I was like, oh, I should probably see what other makers and crafters are out there. And then I started coming across other Lego builders. I was like, oh, this is actually a thing. I met this guy, Universe Apart streams. He's down in Australia. And so now I have a handful of Australians in my chat, which is kind of fun. And then my second brick builder was Kazakh Princess. And then I joined her Discord, and she's shouting out. She's one of the most supportive streamers I've ever seen in my entire life. And she's shouting out all these other channels. And so through her, I ended up finding Amish and Zach and AZ and all these other fun and entertaining brick builders. And then through Amish is how I found you and Moko and literally everyone else in my little brick building circle. Because Amish has all these clips of all these other people, all these other streamers. That's literally the command that will pop up your face some more, or Moko's clip of him doing the flex, celebrating people hitting milestones. That was super cool. And so I got inspired to try to highlight other streamers on my stream too, because like we are a community, we help each other, we scratch each other's backs, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm trying to kind of do that. So I try to only wear other streamers' merch when I go on stream, because I used to have my hand cam was right in front of me when I was building, and it was just my chest in the background. And I was like, well, if people are going to be checking out my chest and I don't have a chest people want to see, then I should put something in front of it. So I went around, like, collected. I've got like 13 or 14 different merch shirts and hoodies from other channels, and they all have commands for like the link to their page and their merch links and stuff. And so like that's how I'm trying to like support community, because I don't do a whole lot of the like big pop-ups and quotes from other people and all that kind of stuff. But it's been fun. So I was a year and 15 months ago. People came in and celebrated their 15-month anniversary thing.
How's it changed since you started in that time? How has everything been now that you've had all this time to work on the stream and think about what you're doing?
It's so much. It's amazing. I'm addicted, first and foremost. If something happens and I can't stream, whether it's OBS crashes or my internet goes down, I had a power outage one time, or I'm just out of town and I can't stream, sucks. The community that I have been able to put together has been one of the greatest additions to my life. And I was not ready for that. I was so surprised by that revelation. Another major difference, when I first started, when I go live, there'd be like 5 to 10 minutes before anyone showed up. I never knew a good time to come off of my starting soon screen to like, you know what? Even if no one's here, pull up the camera, start building, talk to the air. Somebody's going to show up.
Yeah.
Whether it's people just clicking brick building tags or your followers making their way in, just you need to start doing stuff. And now I'm live for like 30 seconds and somebody pops in and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" Or they'll use their personalized command to like announce that they're here. And that has been a huge difference. It's mind-blowing. It's so weird. I never knew that it was gonna mean this much to me. There's going to be people in the world that want to come and like hang out with me and support me in whatever way they do. It's wild. I don't consistently think that highly of myself. I have confidence, but I don't have like I'm confident in my ability, but I'm not confident in how I'm received, if that makes sense. And so when I get that support, when I'm not like out there asking for it, sometimes like you just gotta take a step back and just be like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know that there would be people that think I'm worthy of that." It's wild. It's been a hell of a ride.
What's that like, getting that affirmation and encouragement from a community now that you've been at it for a while?
It's a paradigm shift. I get support from my friends in person, my IRL friends. If I'm struggling and I need some help on something, I can reach out to any number of people on my phone. Be like, "Hey, this guy, can you help me with this? Hey, can you give me some advice on this?" I have zero like question on whether I can do that. I never considered the idea that people that I've never met in person could also be like that. I know some of my most chatty and involved people in my community I've seen 2 pictures of ever. And some of them know more about me than my cousins know about me. Just because they're consistently around and they're consistently been there for me. They've seen me in my highs, they've seen me in my lows, and it's weird. Like it's just like 2 years ago, I never would have made the argument. I never would have put money on some of the people that are going to know me really, really well, or some of the most influential people in my life are going to be screen names on a computer screen, and that's it. You know what else I found out from streaming? Apparently, I have a voice worth listening to. It wasn't until I started streaming when that people have complimented my voice. They love to hear me talk. I talk a lot, and so people don't have a choice whether to hear my voice or not. I can imitate people a lot, and so I've gotten like, oh, you should be a voice actor, or you should be you should try acting or voice acting, this, that, and the other. It wasn't until Twitch when I was just flat out told I have a really nice voice. I want to listen to it. Like I've never considered myself having a good voice, but I feel like there's a filter on my mic that just adds that extra suave to my voice that I don't. A lot of people love it. It unrelated people too, or like people who've come in for the first time. They got brought in from a raid, and 30 minutes later they're like, "Wow, you have a really nice voice." And I'm like, "Thanks."
Yeah,
that's been fun.
How has that affected your outlook on certain things like voice acting or narration? Have you thought about doing more of that outside of this, or?
I would love to try voice acting. I waffle between thinking I can and thinking I can't do it. I've looked at I'll imagine myself in people's shoes for acting, and I'm a really good liar. I could lie with a straight face, and so I think in my head I could probably act. Like I could just jump into a character and just act. But then I think from the actor's perspective, and like there's the set and the other actor with you, but then you look just a little bit to the left and there's cameras and a crew and all this equipment, and like I feel like that would really distract me. So I don't think I could personally act. Voice acting is a whole other thing, and I would love to do it. I don't have a space where I can put up a bunch of like panels, like sound panels, really just lean into trying the whole voice acting thing. One day, maybe. I think that'd be super fun. I would love to try doing that.
I think you should give it a shot sometime. Honestly. Thanks, yeah, I think you should. You'll never know. You'll always wonder until you do it. So one of these days, make it happen. What do you think is the hardest thing about what we do as creators?
I think there's two kind of main tough things. One is, well, because of my personality, I try to be center. I try not to have a strong opinion in either direction of a conversation. But if I do, I try to encourage the conversation of the other side, the hot pocket and ravioli kind of thing. Trying to diffuse a conversation going on in chat where someone clearly feels uncomfortable or someone has gotten upset. I find that because I try not to take sides. So I'm not going to be like, hey, person who made this other person feel upset, you messed up. You need to apologize here on stream. There needs to be evidence of your apology. But I also I'm not going to just ban people. I guess I could time them out if it got that bad. But I don't, that for me is going to be really tough. I guess in brick building, we don't get a whole lot of that, but say I wanted to go be a Call of Duty streamer on Saturdays, there's gonna be a hell of a lot more in that space. And so, or mentally preparing for like hate raids, the fact that those come along and get brought up and like other creators are trying to like warn each other, just like, hey, by the way, keep an eye out for hate raids. Like this February, because it's Black History Month, there's heads up of like racist hate raids going around looking for specifically Black creators. And I was like, I don't want to have to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I never did. I think a lot of that is because, I've got less than 20 concurrent viewers at any time other than like when I get rated. And like I can fly under the radar for those kinds of like hate raid stuff. Just controversial or high emotion situations because you're on camera. It's like when people are like on interviews or on the news and are getting asked hard questions, they have to keep their composure. Like I have to create a situation that can diffuse whatever's going on, but also keep the content and entertainment going.
Mm.
I don't know how like comedian hecklers deal with hecklers. That's impressive. But like, so that I think is a big one. And then the other is as a hobby streamer / brick building streamer, yada yada, it's not financially stable.
Mm-hmm.
Lego and model kits, gunpla, like these things are not cheap. Both of us have thousands of dollars worth of product behind us. And we're not making thousands of dollars a month or year to like make that back. And so like it's tough to be like, I want to make this a priority because this is amazing. I'm having a great time. I love it. When I get down to it, I can't sacrifice hours at my day job to do this more, which would create a situation where I'm going through product faster, but I'm making less money from my day job to pay for that product. That's tough, but like, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna be like those like e-girls that blow up and they're like, you can't afford $5 to hang out with me in a month, blah 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 blah. Like how like you can't give up one coffee a month in order to pay for a subscription. Those oh I strongly dislike those clips that show up from every like 8 to 9 months. Somebody else is blowing up about that. But like it's tough and it's not something that obviously I'm not going to complain about it on like stream.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, well, guys, I can't because I'm not going to be able to buy another set for us to build on stream. That's just not going to happen. And it's not, the burden isn't on my community to give me something to build on stream so they can watch. Like it's that is tough strictly because I want to stream as much as possible. I want to make as much content as possible. The financial limitation of the stuff that I want to build is very real. If I were playing a video game, I spend $70 and I can play that same game for a year and just be happy. But like that's a lot of the reason why I do some of these like third-party sets also, because they're just way cheaper and like they'll still create. It's still, people aren't going to my stream to be like, I'm only going to watch him if he builds Lego.
Right.
But people are coming to my stream because they want to hang out and have a good time. I just want to keep my hands busy. So I'm going to go get the $40 1,300 piece third-party brick set that's going to last me for like 2 weeks because that makes more sense for my wallet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's tough. The finances are tough and the hard situations are tough.
Given the financial burden of being a hobby streamer, it seems like you're doing a great job managing it. Is there any other tips you would give someone who's trying to do something similar and finding that managing the cost of it as a challenge? What would you tell them?
Put a lot of that a lot of that stuff on like birthday lists and Christmas lists. Like the people, like a handful of the sets that I've built on stream have been like an anniversary gift from my wife or a birthday present from one of my friends.
Mm.
And like they don't show up on my stream. They don't. My wife has a Twitch. She made a Twitch so she could hang out from time to time. But she's been in there like 12 times total. But like she knows it's important to me, and I'm vocal about how much I love to stream. And so people are more inclined to get me something. They're like, hey, maybe you could build this on stream. I'm like, hey, thanks. Like my friend got me a model kit to celebrate when I got affiliate. And so I could build that on stream. And that's going to take a couple weeks. So like I guess being vocal about your passion, and if your passion is, streaming and doing stuff there, then hopefully down the line people will support you from outside of Twitch, and then they can help you, and then build up VIP points and I've bought a good number of GWPs and a handful of smaller sets because I can get them cheap. Whether it's like Target, it's like spend $50 on Lego, get a $10 gift card. Those add up. Or the VIP points. Like right now, it's VIP weekend on Lego.com. So you go, VIP account's free. So you can order that one thing that you're going to buy, that you're going to build to create content. And then, down the line, you get some money off of your next set. Like you just, like, what is it? The coupon hoarders or whatever.
Extreme couponing.
Yeah, extreme couponing, but like manageable because they don't make coupons for a lot of these things.
I believe that you were in the right idea there, given that you mentioned doing other third-party block companies or just other types of sets. All that really matters is that you said it yourself. As long as you're building something, I think that's what matters most. And certainly not everyone can afford to buy a massive Lego set every couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, it's not feasible. It's unsustainable for your average creator. I think you're on the right track there with just finding things to do, looking at what's within your means and realistic. So kudos to you. Keep doing that. I believe that you're on the right track with it. So
thanks, man.
Yeah. Honestly speaking, if it's not a new set, I think there's always ways to brave the whole mocking side of things, or other ways to make use of the resources we have. So certainly that's one thing I would throw out there for those in this hobby streaming world, is to find ways to make the most out of what you've got. So and it sounds like you're doing it. And
there's other like strategies, some of which I use, some of which I don't, but like sorting the bag when you first open it.
Yeah.
That takes up time. And like before I streamed on Twitch, I would just open up the bag, let it be in a pile, and just start building. But like now, and I've seen it on other streams, it's like you open up the bag, you keep the conversation going, you start like separating the individual bricks. It makes the build itself when you get there faster, but then also it fills some time.
It does.
Like take those extra 10 minutes each bag to separate everything out. I've seen some other content creators have redeems for like, undo 5 steps, or have to build with your non-dominant hand. And like random stuff like that. And like that creates content and interaction between you and your community, but then it also stretches out the life of a set, which is huge. God. The Stand Up to Cancer charity that you helped Brix O'Brien put on.
Yeah.
And I did a redeem for like every $10 we raise, I have to undo 5 steps. I was on the first 5 steps of the Lego set I was trying to build for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because people love to see you struggle as long as you're having a good time.
Absolutely.
So it's like I build 5, undo it, build 5, undo it, build 5, undo it. It's like, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah. There you go. I think that I think that definitely with incentives like that, it certainly helps with the taking advantage of your resources, and also it's just entertaining as hell for everyone that's watching.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely.
I will never do food redeems though. Shout out to everyone that does the Bean Boozled hot sauce ridiculousness. Hard pass.
Yeah.
I like my taste buds as accurate as they are. I don't need to mess them up with some barf flavored jelly bean.
Or your stomach, right?
Yeah, dude, my stomach, come on.
For SylverDreamer, the streamer, what makes a successful creator?
2022 SylverDreamer, because here we are at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think a successful streamer is logging off, not being able to not smile, looking back on my stream, whatever happened, whether it's a wild day of like raids and events and explosions going off in your stream, or you just had like some really good and entertaining conversation with your chat. Well, I guess both of those are just an engaged chat, right? So I only stream 3 days a week for 3 hours at a time. I want to stream so much more, but right now that's all I can afford to do. So in those 3 hours per stream, was that at least 2.5 hours of really good content?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm logging off at 9:30 p.m., looking back on it, huge smile on my face, and I'm just on cloud 9, that was success. It's great to have subs and resubs and gifted subs and stuff like that, but like at the end of the day, that's icing on the cake of a successful stream. In the future, my lord, my fantasy for my community is I have a Discord with all kinds of people just chatting it up with each other, whether they're in a voice chat hanging out doing their thing, using my Discord as like a hub, sharing links, sharing art, sharing each other's lives, whether it's like selfies or their pets or the same stuff that all of us use everyone's Discords for.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow down the line, my Discord beat out everyone else's. So because like everyone that's in your Discord is a member of at least 5 or 10 other Discords minimum. For whatever reason, they consider I want an X number of people to consider my Discord to be the one that they check first or that they go to first. Or if they want to hop on a voice chat, they go to mine. That's part of it. And then I would love to have a bunch of affiliate links. I buy sets, obviously not from just Lego. And so like I've applied to be an affiliate with like every site that I buy from. I want to build with like their name on screen or something and send people to them and then like make 75 cents. Like if I have just a crap ton of affiliate links out in the world, then like that's just passive residual income that I could try to make, but also just like lifting up these random like Buildiverse or the Block Zone, like random websites that not everyone knows about. I want to not have like 15 things on a list that I want to do for my stream to like try to make a fuller experience. I think my best case scenario, even though we were just talking about how like money is not the primary goal, but I would love to Successful on Twitch would be having enough income from Twitch where I could quit my bank job and work at like a coffee shop. Something that I clock in, clock out, and I don't take the work home with me. Whatever I end up doing, whatever that job's going to be, it's not going to make as much as working in technology. That's hands, but there's no arguing that. So give me a job that's like a barista, because I miss being a barista, or a bartender, and I want to stream like 5 nights a week and do like the Sylver slumber party and just stream at night, let people wind down in my chat, on my channel, more than just 2 or 3 nights a week. I want to expand that, but then have a situation where I can do that, where I can afford to do that more. I would love to do that. Maybe also pick a day that I can stream during the day. Would be nice.
What makes a successful streamer in general? Like when you see other creators out there and they're doing their thing, you're like, that person, they're doing it. They're doing the thing.
From my third party perspective, I feel like a successful streamer, not knowing other people's situations, if they are posting on their social media about some sort of celebration or something that they're excited about that happened on stream at least once a week, for me, that seems like a successful streamer. Because one time, like if it's your birthday or something, you have a crazy stream, cool, and you're gonna post about it, be like, thank you all for coming out to my birthday stream, it's super fun, yada yada yada. If that streamer is posting something of that level of gratitude and excitement at least once a week, they have a super engaged community and they're having a great time there. To me, looking from the outside in, that's a successful streamer. That's what I think.
You held up a list. And I want you to tell me about this list.
So this is a list of things I want to do for either my stream or my like content creator online presence in general. Ideas that I've had in the back of my head for the last couple months, and because of my day job, I have been mentally unable to sit down and take on these extra tasks. And so I'm just writing them down so that when this project I've been working on is done, I can start tackling this like one per week, or one per like every other day or whatever. So the top one on here is literally just the command from Moko, because Moko I bought this canvas art from them, and it's super cool.
Yeah.
And it's technically merch, and so like they could just have a merch command, but this is so much cooler than that. Because I'm not wearing it. It's just on my background. I want them to have their own command. Enhancements I want to do to my actual stream. So like my BRB screen should have random clips from like clips on my channel or whatever, because why not? Closed caption has been brought up a couple of times, and I feel like it should be easy to just throw that on there at some point. Promoting all the stuff that I have a lot. Like, so on my Discord, a perk of being a member of my Discord is we have a Starbucks gift card that you can pull up and scan anytime you go to Starbucks. If you're having a rough day, or like, payday's in 2 days and you just need to pick me up, or you're on a road trip and you need to pick me up, pull up my Discord, pull up the picture of the gift card, scan it. You can add to it if you want, but right now it's at like $86. The only caveat is you have to post a selfie of what you got. And so like I want to promote that. I have a podcast that I want to promote. I have this Facebook page called Will Likes to Lip Sync. My real name is Will, by the way. It's called Will Likes to Lip Sync. Before the pandemic, when I was driving to and from work, I used to blast music, and I was like, you know what? People would find this entertaining. So I made a Facebook page where I posted me just lip syncing in the car, blasting music.
Yeah.
And I used to put that up once a week. So I have a page for that, and I would love for people to check that out if you need a pick me up. My affiliate links, like I have my Twitter, I have my Instagram, I have a SylverDreamer Facebook page now. I need to make content for my YouTube channel that has, I think, 2 videos posted. All these things I need to like put on like a scheduled rotation that are promoted within either Discord or on my Twitch when I'm live, but also give them something to see when they go there.
Yeah.
So like all that stuff, videos that I want to have, like one of my mods has a raid video.
Yeah.
So when you raid him, he says, "Hi, thanks for the raid." And then he'll pull up this intro video that just has a breakdown of who he is, what his community is, what content he makes, and then, welcome to the channel. That's so much easier to do than trying to do your elevator pitch every single time somebody raids in. Just throw up the video. Just all that stuff. I have Legos that aren't on camera. It'd be kind of cool to have like channel point redeem for like a slideshow to see the other sets that I've got. Just things I want to do.
How do you manage the list? How do you check things off of that?
When it's done, I write it off. So Monday evenings used to be the night that I would work on my stream.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time. I just haven't had that for the last couple of months. And
Fair.
So my list is just getting longer. Some stuff, super easy to do. Other stuff like the video and stuff, I need to spend some time to go film a video or record something on computer and then it'll be ready to go. But it's kind of just one of those like, all right, got it. All right, got it. Oh, geez. Like even something simple, you look at the list, look at something, be like, you know what? Just Nike the crap out of it and just do it. Just it does bring all the boys to the yard.
What keeps you motivated? Clearly, with a huge list, it must be daunting. What do you do to at least get through it?
My desire to keep making things, keep providing situations that make people want to come back. Even before Twitch, my natural state is to create an atmosphere where you are most comfortable, where you feel like you can let your guard down. That sounds ominous, but like where you can like bring your walls down a little bit. And I love to be host. Yeah, come on over. I have all this stuff. Come and hang out. Like I used to, when I lived on my own, I bought a second TV and a second Xbox so we could play. One person would sit in the dining room of my kitchen and I would sit in the living room and we would play online video games. I love to be host. And so that has since translated into, I want to keep on making things that either one of my mods or a VIP in my chat have suggested, and I want them to know that they've been heard, and so I want to do it. Or this is kind of a cool thing or something that is like interesting. I need to do this, and so a new person will come in and be like, "Oh, that's cool. I want to come back for this." So those organic follows that I call them, like when you do a raid and then those people who get brought in from the raid immediately follow, those are appreciated. But the people that come in from a raid, hang out for 20, 30 minutes and then follow, those are the ones that I feel like I've really earned. That make me, I call those organic follows. So I want to create more and more situations that will bring in more organic follows. That's what keeps me going. The desire to please.
Let's talk about follows for a moment. What makes you follow someone on Twitch?
When people do those shout outs in their chat and they're like, guys, go and follow this person. They need more follows. I don't usually do it until they ask like 6 times. And then I'm like, okay, fine. And so I'll hit follow. I like to be the organic follow. And so like if I get rated, if I'm in someone's chat and they rate over, if they have anime notifications, like gifts pop up from a follow or a sub or whatever, or their emotes are super anime, I'll follow almost immediately. But I haven't gone and found somebody new on my own in a long time. And I think what would have gotten me is how responsive they are to chat. Like, how much of a conversation can I hold with you while you're doing whatever you're doing? If you let me get lost in the weeds too quick, even though I've asked you like questions or follow-up questions, I'm less likely to hit that follow button.
Is there any kind of particular things you do when you watch a stream? Say it's a fresh channel you've never been to. You get in there and something instantly turns you off to their channel. What would it be?
Oh, openly hating on something. Like 2 examples. One channel that I used to follow that I stopped following, she just hated on pops for no reason. I used to collect pops, but I don't anymore. It's a hobby, and if people want to collect pops, like that's not a problem. Like you don't need to openly hate and then rally the rest of your chat to hate on that hobby. That doesn't make sense to me. And then someone else was doing a similar thing, hating on Pizza Hut or not Domino's Pizza, just like flat out hating on it and like trash talking the business because they worked there for like 2 years. I was like, that's not the community I want to be a part of. That like will create content based on hating something that somebody else could be fond of. So I don't like that. That's a turnoff. There's like DC versus Marvel. I'm huge into Marvel, obviously. I'm not going to go around telling people that DC sucks. And then on top of that, Spider-Man's my favorite. And Spider-Man versus Batman gets brought up all the damn time. And like, I'll say that like I won't buy the Lego Batman sets on principle because I have to put my foot down as a Spider-Man fan. But if someone comes in and says, dude, Batman's my boy, I'm not going to be like, well, you're a terrible person. That's just rude. So yeah, I just, that's not, people are going to like what they're going to like. Just like, I want you to be part of my community, regardless of like what your like fandoms are. I'm not going to I'm not the perfect fandom list person. There you go.
Just let people like things, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that brand new streamer comes up to you, says, Sylver, I love your content. I love what you do. How can I be a better streamer? What would you tell someone that's brand new to this? What wisdom would you impart to them?
Schedules are important. Like, even if it's 1 day a week, make sure you stick to that. If you have other days that you stream, cool, but like stick to whatever that schedule is. So if someone comes in and they like what you're putting down, they know when they can come back to see you. Notifications don't always work. Discord tags don't always work. Discord bots don't always work. Like if I saw you on Thursday night at like 8 p.m., I'm going to, unless told otherwise, I'm going to expect I can come back next Thursday and hang out again. So schedules are important. I would also say if you can, and this is from my perspective, it's not necessarily like the right answer. I don't know. Don't make a online personality. That will get tiring after a while. Or you'll slip up and let your true colors show or whatever. And I feel like it's disingenuous. We're not movie stars. We're not TV actors. And that's kind of one of the things that I like about Twitch so much is that we're just a guy or a girl sitting in front of a camera, not even always in front of a camera because there's VTubers and they're awesome. We're just sitting in front of a computer, hanging out, and like it's so easy to just be natural. Be natural. Whatever idea you came up with of like, I'm gonna be like this hard ass on camera, like Dr. Disrespect and stuff. That's not for me. It works for him. But that's not for me. My personal advice is be as natural as you can. Don't think about how you are, what kind of personality you're going to show, because months down the line, that's going to fall apart. So, from my perspective.
Yeah.
So, whatever kind of person you are in person, be that on stream.
What is something that your community does not know about you that you think they should know?
That they should know? Nothing. What is something? That's tough because I actually have a redeem on my channel for like personal deep dive, and I can tell them anything about my life. They just have to choose like a time frame. So what's something new that nobody has heard? Oh, here's a random fact. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with anything, but I didn't talk as a kid. Yeah, yeah, you'd never know.
Right.
So, even when I was like 4, I guess I wasn't talking, to the point where my mom works at the used to work at the university here in town, and so she actually took me to the psych department to have like tests run to get me checked out.
Yeah.
To see if I was okay. And I was fine. When I started talking, I was talking in full sentences. I didn't want to mess around with figuring words out. So when I was like 5, I guess I started talking, but then it was in like full sentences. Honestly, I feel like that checks out because I hate starting on something until I figure out the end game. That's why like puzzles are awesome.
Yeah.
But like, oh God. So my wife and I argue so much about this because we have a huge disagreement on how we do puzzles. Because once you have the border done, the inside, that is sacred ground. And so the inside of the puzzle is not to be meddled with until you know where the pieces are going. So she'll like start building APs or like a section not where it's supposed to go. And then I'll start working on something that has to go there. And I'm like, what is this doing here, babe? And she's like, I was working on it. I'm like, but it doesn't go here. Look at the picture. Look at the box. Look at the box. It goes over. So like, I really think those two things are related.
Wow.
Because it's just like, if I'm going to start putting pieces inside this sacred box of the puzzle,
right,
it's going to be because I know where it goes.
Right.
It's not because this is extra space that I want to use to sort more pieces. But yeah, I'm sure there's a handful of other examples about that. But yeah, I think that I don't think I've told anybody about that kind
That's
of stuff.
A good one.
Like, yeah, I just like when we're doing like group projects in school and stuff, or like some sort of like relay obstacle course type stuff. I'm looking at the entire picture, plotting out the approach on everything before I'm actually doing stuff. Yeah, it takes up time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Thank you for that. That was all informative. I love it. That was some really great stuff that we learned about the inner workings of Sylver here.
Which makes building Lego so much fun.
Yeah.
Like as you're putting stuff together and you're like, oh, this is where this piece is going to go. And so like, I love talking about that. Like as we're building, we'll be like, oh guys, see this is probably going to be like, I'm building the grand piano right now. And so I'm like, this is probably where the sustain pedal is going to go. See how it lifts up this bar? Oh, this is exactly what's going to happen because this is how the hammers work on an actual piano. And so just pointing all these random things out. And I think that's all from that same like quirk in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
About needing to know the big picture. the end game.
It all adds up as you talk about all these aspects of your life here. It all adds up. You spend a lot of time on Twitch, right? So when you're not creating, when you're not streaming, and watching all of these other folks on the site, where do you get a lot of your inspiration from to do what you do?
The channels that highlight others or have something that makes me go, ooh. Those are like the two main things. So again, like we talked about, like with like Amish, all of his bit redeems and a whole bunch of his like subscriber commands are just random pop-ups of other streamers coming in and doing like a random quote. Like you talking about him being freshly waxed. That stuff, his stream has shown me so many other fun streamers. And I would love to have a calmer version of that. Because like Amish's stream gets out of control sometimes.
Yeah.
With like, and it's it's fun to watch, but sometimes it's too much for me. And so like I would love to have just like audio clips of other streamers that I can put on my stream.
Yeah.
Or cool, just corner cutting, time saving stuff. Like I have a stream deck. Before I had a stream deck, manually selecting scenes to transition to.
Yeah.
And so like the stream deck was gifted to me, and so like that helps me save time and cut some corners. The intro raid video. One, I want to take that idea and make one for myself, but then that's inspired me to want to do other videos that answer questions that get asked all the time. Or like I have my command that's like !Sylver that has a paragraph of just like my intro of like who I am, what I do. Those kinds of things. I love going to other channels and seeing what other people have done. And also like how they conduct themselves. This guy, Corrupt, who I haven't actually been in his stream in a long time, but he's a Call of Duty streamer, and he only plays solos because he wants to focus on the chat over his gameplay. So he doesn't want to miss a call out or anything like that from a squad because he's looking at chat. And so the gamers that prioritize chat, that shows me this like decision tree that they've gone down that makes them want to give priority to their community over the video game and content that they're creating. So that's just more like conceptually an inspiration. So I want to like focus on that. So yeah, that's also why a large reason why I don't think I should play video games on stream.
Yeah.
I get so engrossed and focused. I play Fall Guys a couple of times and I forget that chat's there.
Yeah.
I need to not.
Yeah. If there's anyone on Twitch that you could collaborate with the exception of myself, since we're already doing it, who would it be? Who would you like to collaborate with?
Which one do I want to like highlight? I guess my cousin Hire is a competitive EDH player for Magic.
Yeah.
And I've dipped my toe sort of into CEDH, and it would be fun to do some streams with him, just either talking deck building or playing some games with them. One of the guys in my community, Daz, he just started streaming recently, and we both have the same Lego set, and it'd be super fun. We've been talking about doing a co-stream already, but we can both build the same set, and that's going to be super cool. I've already done some co-streams with Alpha Dog, but like he's really fun. Our banter is so much fun. I would love. He's always on top of my list for like people to like hang out with. People who I've never said anything about. I think I would have a lot of fun picking Jang's mind on streaming and content creation and stuff. Like, it's he raided me one time.
Yeah.
Somebody popped into my chat right before, and they're like, "Hey, get ready for a Jang raid." And the clip of the raid starts with me saying, "Jang knows who I am," because he's a big time creator, man. He's a big deal. And I was like 400 followers at the time. There's no way, tiny little me. He has concurrent viewers more than I have followers at any given time. And
that's not true.
There's no way he knows who I am.
That's not true.
There's no way.
But here's the thing is I guarantee you folks in the brick building space, the makers and crafting space, and the art space, there are probably so many of those folks who have been to your stream and have said nothing. Because they like to lurk. So the fact that a Jang knows about your stream should be no surprise. If you are streaming anything remotely adjacent to the very content that he would do, he probably has seen you at some point.
You're not wrong. But I would love to just like sit and build with Jang. Gosh, if it was in person, that would be super fun. But like his setup is super clean. He's the first content creator I've come by that is not just open but supportive of other approaches to building, whether it's buying non-Lego or how you approach building your gunpla. Like he has his way. And I've asked him about like other techniques, and he's like, "Yeah, there's plenty of people that do that. I just ended up not doing it for myself. You do it if you do want to do like panel lining. If you want to do panel lining, you go about it this way. If you're gonna paint, you need to do it this way. If you're gonna do it at this stage, then you need to remember to come back and do this." Like he has clearly thought about all these other things that he doesn't practice, but he openly supports. And like that's the kind of like community leader I want to be. So I would love to do a stream with Jang and just like pick his mind as we build a set.
Really want it that bad, but I appreciate it. I really do. That means a lot. And for those that don't know, yes, I'm shooting for 50 episodes. I'm not saying this is over. So let's not panic.
Right. There is a possibility that you're going to keep going, and then you're going to reassess at 100. Like every 50, you're going to reassess. I want to, when I hit 50, I just want to take a look back, reflect, and see where I'm at and what needs to happen. And if that means, it's more than likely it just means keep going, but how will I keep going forward? So I don't want. The fact that there was a chance, like I had to treat this like Batman v Superman. If there was even a 1% chance that you were not going to do crossing the streams again, I had to take that as an absolute certainty. And I needed to be on before.
I don't plan on it going away, but like everything we do, it takes some self-reflection. And I feel like hitting 50 episodes is not just a milestone, but an excuse to stop and look at it and say, is this still relevant to what I want to do? Is this still relevant and useful for people who consume it? Can we continue to make it consumable? So that's, I'm not trying to instill panic. I just want to be clear on that. But thank you for those kind words.
Yeah, man.
As we wrap up, is there anything you want to say? Any final words you'd like to close out the episode with? The floor is yours, Sylver.
When I was like 9 or 10, I'm doing a full Leslie Knope here. When I was like 9 or 10, I realized that my entire purpose on this planet is to make other people's days or make people smile. And I have attempted to create the adult that can do that. And I have been going to great lengths to try to create a community on Twitch that can do that. I have a little sign block up here that says, "Be the reason somebody smiles today." And I firmly believe that. So whether it's walking around with a smile on your face instead of whatever your resting face is, or sending a random friend a high five text, or just saying, "Hope you're doing all right." I hope that I inspire you guys to do that. And if you don't, then you need to come back to my stream and get inspired again until you do it again. My outro is be healthy, be strong, and be gentle. And tell your loved ones you love them, even when you're upset. Which I made my own from an episode of Bleach. It's like the third or second episode. Ichigo's mom says, "Be strong, be gentle, and smile." And the impact of the words between telling someone to be strong and gentle meant a lot to me. So on top of that, also be healthy. Whatever that means, whether it's just taking care of yourself for a day, or having an apple, or going on a stroll to get your blood flowing. Be healthy, be strong, be gentle, and tell your loved ones you love them, even when you're upset.